Hello Aquarius, welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy my readings, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if this reading resonates with you, please be sure to leave a comment and let me know. Alright, so for your first card, we've got the High Priestess under What's Crossing You. And the Narcissistic card that goes with that card is Histrionic Traits. So let's start with the High Priestess. This one's all about wisdom and options and, everything that you need to know, you already know it. There's a bit of something in your subconscious mind that will help you to guide you in your sixth sense. So basically what this is saying is, if you have a gut feeling, then don't ignore it, okay? So this one's also all about unity, prosperity, but also death and dualism, okay? So histrionic traits are exaggerated display of emotions. People who have histrionic traits tend to crave the center of attention. They feel uncomfortable if they're not at the focus of attention. So this is what's crossing you right now. Alright? So maybe this High Priestess is, even though they are wise, they might be a little self-centered. Alright? And in your recent past, it showed that you had the Hangman card, which basically is like stagnant. You're just hanging there. You really can't do anything. You can't move. You can't get down. But this is in your past. So this is based on the Hangman is all about the Great Awakening, the death and the resurrection, and the cross and the gallows. So basically you're going through a this is in your past, going through a really rough time where you really couldn't, get out of it. So the card that goes with that is the Narcissistic Victim. So you might have been a victim to a narcissistic relationship and you have finally decided that you're not going to do that anymore. You're just not going to play that game anymore. So, this was in your recent past, and for your immediate future, we've got the Strength card, which, I love this card, but now that I've seen, Carol Baskin, all I can think about is Carol Baskin when I see this card now, because it's the lady who tamed a lion. It's just cracking me up. Anywho, it's the maiden who is able to control the lion. But it shows here, the Narcissistic card says it's short-term success. So maybe you thought you tamed the lion, but the lion cannot be tamed. You know that it can't, right? So it says you never know how strong that you are until that's all that you have is to be strong, okay? So it says what goes up must come down. So that's the same thing about the, animal rescue, circus, and the people who deal with these animals. They know that even though they've tamed that lion and that they can go pet it, they know that if that pet lion gets a little bit too hungry, that it's definitely going to eat your arm, whether or not you've tamed it or not. Alright, so this is definitely fire signs, Leo and Sagittarius and Aries. So you might be dealing with somebody like that in your life. And I think this short-term success is probably going to go straight along here with the lion, issue about the lion not being able to be tamed. It's not really something that it's not a long-term goal that's capable of long-term success. You can only just tame the lion while it's nice and, fed properly. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so your final outcome, we've got The Ace of Cups. New beginnings, opportunity, potential, self-love card. So this card is something that you definitely can't overlook. If you have been putting yourself on the back burner, it's time to take full responsibility for your well-being, okay? There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be putting yourself first. If 2020 was anything like it was for me, you probably put everything on pause that you were supposed to be getting done, and things that you'd been dreaming of, things that you'd been wanting, you just literally cannot get it done in 2020. So it's time now to get her done. All right, and this shows the Narcissistic card is the Lovers card. Narcissistic lovers, how to cope or move on. Relationships where partners love themselves first. All right, so this does not have to be your lover. This can be anyone in your life that you love that just repeatedly stomps you into the ground and turns you into their doormat. All right, so hopefully it's not your lover that you have married, for better or for worse, but if it is, then you definitely want to seek some professional guidance and counsel, just to give you an idea. Some of the things that you can do without having to go to an actual psychologist is you can go online and look at Dr. Grande and Dr. Romani are the two best ones that I've seen online. They have some really great information available for free right there on YouTube. And I just want to shout out to them and thank them so much for all this great information that they've given me. It's helped me through some hard times, and especially like whenever there's not really a lot I could do about it. Some narcissists in your life are people that you really can't get rid of, things that you can't, they can't even do anything about it. It can be children that are acting this way. It could be elderly people who, any number of narcissistic people out there that really just, hopefully if it's a narcissistic child, we're going to teach them right. But definitely if it's an elderly person that's well past their age of change, there's not a whole lot you can do about changing that. So you basically just have to love them for who they are, or cut them out of your life if you can. Sometimes you can't, but basically all you have to do is talk to a professional, and they will give you some really solid guidance as to what you do need to do. So for 2021, let's take some manifestation cards and see if I've got any good advice for you on manifestations for 2021, because I have a good feeling, okay? I mean, I know that this vaccine is kind of backfiring so far in the news. It's having a lot of allergic reactions, and I know a lot of people are just dying to get that vaccination, but y'all let them really work out those issues in the vaccinations before you jump on the bandwagon, okay? Make sure that, whatever it is that's going wrong, that they have the opportunity to fix it before you have an allergic reaction, because you definitely may or may not, especially if you have like some serious allergic reactions in the past. I would like you to be very careful in jumping on that bandwagon before we really know how it's going to work. All right, so for what's crossing you, we've got the quartz, and quartz will help you to clear your chakras, and it says in your recent past that was a success. So you may have been the Hanged Man, but you're not anymore. And underneath immediate future, where we've got the Lion Tamer and the short-term success, we've got raw foods create energy. All right, so basically that's saying that there's, you know, having positive energy isn't just about, you know, chakras and, you know, saying positive affirmations and things like that. It's also about treating yourself right and feeding yourself right. Raw foods are extremely good for you because whenever you cook foods, it takes a lot of the nutrients out, especially if you microwave it. You might as well just forget about it. There's no nutrients left after you have nuked it in the microwave. So as for your final outcome, this one's really getting to me here, this Ace of Cups and the Lovers card. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And it's talking about self-love, you know, new love, passion, intrigue. And then it's got the Lovers card. Dunk. How to cope and move on with relationships with a partner who is a narcissist. All right, for manifestations, it says create new transitions for your emotions. Alrighty, so transitions are so important as an artist, and it doesn't really matter what you're doing in life. Transitions are mandatory for change. If you are really, really ready to make some serious changes in your life, then you definitely want to work on transitions. So, for example, when I'm painting a painting and you're going from the background to the foreground, you know, there's always that little transition. You know, you want to make sure that, you know, the transition colors are, you know, if you want it to be really bright and popping, you got to use contrasting colors. All right? If, you know, there's always just something about it. Like if you're writing a book and you're going from one chapter to the next, you always have to set up for a transition. Even if you go from one chapter that has something to do with this and then another chapter and it's something totally different, you know, you're going to want to put it in the previous chapter some type of, you know, foreshadowing as to this new chapter. So no matter what it is you're doing, if you're changing from one job to another or one lover to another, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, just make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that you made in the past and that you move forward with a clean slate. All right, so it has been so nice talking to you, Aquarius. And the new, I did a huge bunch of research for the age of Aquarius coming, which was just recently it has unfolded right in front of us, and now we're in the age of Aquarius, or we will be very shortly. We're transitioning into the age of Aquarius, and so the previous alignments that we had with hold on a second. So the Jupiter and Saturn alignment that we just had, that was, you know, it's had such a huge gravitational pull from Jupiter and Saturn. They are both extremely gravitation. They affect the gravity of Earth, these two planets, okay? And so the last times that they've come through this area, up until the time in which Christ was born, we've always been in Earth signs, but this time it's in Aquarius. So that's why it's such a huge difference, because, I mean, it happens every 20 years, but, you know, there's just something a little bit different about this time, okay? So, I looked it up. I was just dying to know what angels are associated with these planets. So, Zedekiel is associated with the planet Jupiter, And Cassiel is associated with the planet Saturn. So Uriel is also associated with the sign Aquarius, and the book of Cassiel has to do with the key of Solomon. All right, and so oddly, that's the same time frame in which the that Jesus was born, was right back there whenever the Kingdom of Solomon was in Egypt. Anyhow, so it shows right here that we are moving into this new, the effects of Saturn also have to do with the tidal force of the waves and the very, very strong moon. So the comfortable temperatures on Earth could be affected by Saturn and its volatility, which is true because I'm freezing in the south. Go figure. Jupiter and Venus also affect the tides. Some variations of the light of each planet can affect the ecosystem, and the gravitational fields of Jupiter and Venus can change, and it causes like a wobble, all right, from these two planets. So the gravitational pull will actually make the seasons more intense. All right, and that was from USA Today. I actually saw that on the news and read it. I should say read it on the news. And so that was pretty interesting. And let me see. So that's about all for the age of Aquarius that's moving in. And I am super excited, ready for some change. I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. So I will see you in 2021. Good night.